Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crossing Borders. I'm Mike Ginn. That's Extremo Alex Soto back again to break down some Mexican MMA for you. Of course, this week we're talking about LUX Fight League 25. Alex was just down there last weekend calling all the action in Monterrey, Mexico. But Alex, before we get to the show, we got some new swag.
Yeah,
check
tell
out
me about
right
it,
below. Yeah, check out right below me, right next to Alex's shirt. You'll see our brand new Crossing Borders shirt. Of course, I put it up on Instagram today on our story. Check that out. Link to the shirt will be in the description. Keeping it clean, keeping it simple, but it looks pretty dope. Brand new swag is always a good thing. So fightersfirst.shop, you know where it is. Let our apparel be a part of your story. Mr. Soto, how you feeling today, buddy?
I'm feeling good, man. Tired from all the traveling, man. We've been going all over the place, man. It's crazy. We've been putting up shows, I don't know, once every 3 weeks, it seems like, man. It's nuts. I got another one coming up.
I think your camera's tired too. It's a little blurry too.
I bet you
don't worry about it. I'm sure. Nah, it's still a little choppy. It's all good. We'll make it work. We've done better with worse. And besides, for once, maybe they can look at my pretty face instead of yours.
Very good.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm the moneymaker, though, Mike.
Maybe it's my time to shine.
It's your time.
Ignore that I got to stay humble shirt on.
Okay.
But Alex, a couple things. One, what happened with the main event?
Damn,
Kike Gonzalez, Jorge Calvo. Kike didn't make weight. What happened?
Dude, it sucks, man. I was so excited about that one. This is like the fight that I was most excited about, this main event fight.
I was
excited about everyone. But dude, it was just like such a good one. I mean, so many things are happening at 125 pounds at LUX Fight League. With Alessandro Costa not getting the contract, he's going to be coming back, defending his contract, defending his title, excuse me. Costa is looking on fire. Kike Gonzalez is looking on fire as well. They go on the scale. Kike was going to he's the hometown hero, huge fan base in Monterrey. He misses weight by 3 pounds, man. So Calvo's corner was just basically told him, we're not taking the fight. We're not taking the fight. He's 3 pounds overweight. This is supposed to be for a championship belt. And so they didn't want to play the whole, okay, if he wins, he gets the belt. But if he doesn't, the other guy wins, then there's no belt. And now we have like that's the kind of situation. But man, it just sucks, man.
So, and we'll get to LUX Fight League 25 in a minute. But so basically, if Costa comes back and he doesn't get like a last second call to the UFC sometime soon, like a lot of those Dana White Contender Series, because he did win his fight. It just wasn't, a knockout, get your contract. Like Eric Silva, you're going to need a new featherweight champion because Eric Silva is now UFC bound. He got a first round stoppage at this week's Dana White Contender Series, got his contract. You might need a new middleweight champion because Bam Bam fights this week coming up on the 16th.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. His weigh-in will be today at some point. It might even already happen. But with Costa now arguably coming back, does Calvo get the next shot, or are they going to try to rebook him and Gonzalez?
Damn,
what's happening?
So I don't know, man. I honestly, there's a difference between what's right and what the promotion might feel. Like I feel that Calvo kind of let the promotion down here. In this case, yes, the Kike fucked up, missing weight.
I don't know if you could put that on the fighter because, I mean, did he take a way out? Yeah. But
I don't
at the same time, Kiki's the one that messed it up.
Okay. His camp, you're right. Because the fighters will fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. But it's his camp that's suggested that he not take the fight. They're the ones that told him, because obviously Calvo's a bad dude. That guy will fight anybody, right? Same thing with Kike. Obviously, the first guy to fuck up was Kike Gonzalez for missing the weight. And he was like super apologetic. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, how can you miss weight, man? He was looking good. Yeah, for just it was more of a title eliminator. Excuse me, I missed.
I mean, they did mark it as an interim title. I mean, it was your opportunity.
Yeah, it was his shot, and he totally dropped face first on the on this whole situation, man. It was his opportunity, his hometown, big crowd was there, for him, and he missed weight, man. And Jorge Calvo said, no, we're not taking the fight, we're not gonna do it. And so I don't know, man. It's like you got two fighters that had the promotion put a lot of investment in, for both of these guys. I mean, these guys were marketed all throughout the
They were the poster.
The marketing, the selling that to the networks. And then for it to just flop like that, it just sucks, man. I wish that the fight would have still had happened. You know, it was still kind of, was going to be a great fight. I thought it was going to be a fascinating, stylistic, like a great fight that promised for a lot of action in it. And for that not to go down like that, I was just super, super sad about it. But
yeah, like I can't put it on Calvo. I can't put it on Calvo because he came in on weight. Like, I mean, I mean, if he chooses to take that fight and he loses because, say, Kiki's stronger and knocks him out, then how does that look? If he goes out and gets the job done anyway, then he looks like more of a hero. But at the same time, he didn't have to take the risk. Kike gave him the way out. If Kike comes in on weight, this is not an issue. So I don't put this on Calvo at all. Does everybody want, as a fan, do you want the fighters to cowboy up and just fight everybody from lightweight to heavyweight? Like, of course.
Yeah. No, I get you.
But from a business point of view, his camp was like, look, we take this fight and it doesn't turn out our way because he wasn't favored in the fight. Let's be real. Kike was the favorite. If he takes this fight and he gets beat, at best he gets another shot. But at worst, he gets knocked down. And this gives him a chance to maybe wait for Costa because now Kiki's already lost to Costa. And Costa needs a new opponent if he's coming back to fight in the fall. Or even like December or early next year. I don't know his timetable. But Calvo could be in line without ever having to take a fight. Because like you said, this is an eliminator, really, interim title. It would only been for the real title if Costa doesn't come back.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When you fight for Luke's Fight League, I know the contract stuff, the fighters get what they all get, a blanket statement here. If it's your fighter comes in overweight, because this happens a lot, and that, in fact, I really like this about the bout agreements. When they give you a bout, they say, okay, if your opponent comes in 3 pounds overweight, you're automatically, because there's, you're automatically awarded 20% of the contract, 20% of your opponent's purse. Yeah. All right. That's stipulated in it. Now, if your opponent comes in 5 pounds overweight or above, then you have the stipulation is you have the option not to take this fight. Like, the fight's completely off. So I feel like, with that.
But is it different for a title fight?
I don't know. I don't know.
If title fights, you got to come in exact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different one. Yeah, you're right. 100% right. But I believe that still goes blanket. It may no longer be a title fight, and that's also on there. But if you are fighting, the fight's still on regardless, even if your opponent comes in over 3 pounds, or at 3 pounds, up to 3 pounds, and then anything over 5 pounds, you have the option not to take the fight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out with Luke's Fight League. Of course, they're already getting ready to move on for 26 with Mendoza and Rubio. So, lots to talk about in the coming weeks. But the people are here to get our reactions. Luke's Fight League 25. We had a new main event. Kevin Garcia, Irvin Amaya. Like you said, off air, maybe not the most exciting fight, but Garcia came in, slight underdog as he always is, and got the job done again. What happened in that fight?
On the Kevin Garcia coming in from behind.
Yeah, dude, Kevin Garcia, Irvin Amaya.
Dude, man. Okay, so
be honest, Alex. You said off air that fight sucked.
It was fucking terrible, man. It was thanks, man. Thanks for throwing me right into the fire, man. I get to see these guys when I see.
That's what I do.
That's right. It's what you do. All right. So
I didn't tell you to say it was fucking terrible. You went way beyond what I said.
Well, you opened the door, man. It was a bad performance, man, all the way around. I wouldn't say it's just styles make the fights, man. You know what I mean? Like, Irvin Amaya was trying to get the counter. Garcia was trying to avoid getting hit. And there was a lot of dancing around in the fight. And the way, it was a tough one. The more aggressor was Kevin Garcia. But the guy that was winning the exchanges and even the grappling matches, which there were very few, it was Irvin Amaya. So when I heard that it was a unanimous decision to Kevin Garcia, I was just completely surprised. I'm like, am I watching the same fight? It's like, what the hell happened, man?
So I watched the fight this morning. I'm a little behind Alex. I didn't get the benefit to be cage side, but I did watch the fight this morning. And I thought Garcia won 29-28. Like it was razor thin. Because I thought Garcia controlled more of the cage, more of the center. I thought he was the one kind of like pushing the pace a little bit. Amaya had the clinches. Amaya had a couple of the clean strikes, but I thought Garcia was winning more on his feet. But I wouldn't have been mad if the decision had went either way. But even Irvin Amaya on social media came out and said, "Look, I made the mistake. I will do better next time." And from a story point of view, right? We've been looking for somebody new for Marco Beltran to possibly stick around instead of hopping over to bare knuckle. I don't think he's fought Garcia yet. This could be a new challenge for him, another payday for him, or another just something different because he's tired of fighting the same people. He's tired of fighting Patron, who might be going up in weight now. This might be something to like intrigue him. So while not the most exciting fight, it might actually have an interesting outcome because Irvin Amaya will be back, but Kevin Garcia is the feel-good story because they weren't supposed to be the main event, and they took the most of the situation, and he got the job done, right?
Well, he always gets the job done. It's really crazy, man. This kid is actually really tough, and he does. Kevin Garcia puts in a lot of work, man, every time he fights. In this fight, though, however, the way he fought, there's no way he can go up to Marco Beltran and expect to get a win. I just don't see it, man. I'd love to see Garcia fight again and actually get tested with another fighter. I can't even think of a bantamweight right now that off the top of my head with Luke's Fight League that can come out there and put in and really force Garcia to come out, right, and see some exchanges. But the way he showed up, I don't think he would be able to handle Marco Beltran's incredible striking and aggressiveness.
I agree with you, but he does have a tendency to make fights ugly, like you just saw, and he has a tendency to find a way to win. I mean, he had one like really good performance against Benavidez, but Rivera, Marquez, Rivera was a tough split decision win. Marquez was the rear naked choke, but other than the Benavidez and the Marquez fight, every other fight of his has been drag out. Let's go to a decision. Let's see what we can do. Did it in Combate. He's doing it in Lux. He just finds ways to keep winning. Only person he's lost to recently is David Mendoza.
Yeah, and he was doing, and he got Mendoza in some trouble in that fight. So yes, I think so. I think Garcia is undoubtedly like one of the best guys at 135 pounds on Luke's Fight League for sure. And I think now kind of cements and kicking Irvin Amaya, out with that unanimous decision win. I thought that he's the guy. He's the next guy in line. And we'll see how things play out on September 2nd when David Mendoza takes on Fito Rubio for the title contender, the number 1 title contender slot. So
yeah, I mean, there's still a lot. There's still a lot of moving parts. There's we don't know what's going on with Patron. We don't know what's going on with Lazy Boy. We don't know. And Lazy Boy's thinking about moving up in weight, or moving down. I'm sorry, he was thinking about taking a 125-pound fight.
Ooh, so he's a big kid too.
Yeah, I think he's taking a fight in like next month, or maybe not the September one, and the one after. He was talking about doing 125 pounds. I saw him on social media talking about it.
He looked great, man. I don't think he should come down. He looks great at 135. Dropping down at
he's just there's a lot of exciting fighters right now, 135 pounds. So if Beltran moves out of the way, it's going to be a whole new crop of fighters ready to take that mantle. So definitely going to be interesting to see. Also, we're talking about 125 pounds. I was talking off air about maybe the possibility of why didn't Rodriguez get the opportunity.
Right.
He destroyed Navarro with a first round guillotine. They had a nice little scramble, and then he just came out and just locked it in so clean. Like that arm was so under his neck. Like it did take no time to tap out. What happened with that one? Because that was Navarro was the jiu-jitsu champion, right?
He was like the consider. I'm actually talking to Navarro afterwards on the airport. But yeah, I mean the kid was good and coming up, and getting put up there. I think it was the first time that Navarro got to see the big lights and the high, get put on the main card on the UFC Fight Pass, and then getting put on with all the lights and all the fans there. I think it was a little bit much for the kid. But yeah, Rodriguez came in and did a fantastic job and put him away quickly. I think he was just more more prepared in this fight and was able to just sink in that he was just very aggressive, and I think he overwhelmed him and was able to sink in that guillotine choke in the back.
Yeah, I mean, but it went to his specialty, right? They caught it in a scramble. He had him, I think, in an armbar or a triangle, and then he turned out of it. Next thing you know, it's a guillotine and it's locked.
Yeah.
So props to Rodriguez, another kid on the rise. Luke's has him listed at 4-0. Topology has him at 3-0. I don't know, but the kids are definitely on the rise. Also on that card, as Luke's Fight League said, I don't know if there's a happier fighter on the planet than Mauricio Nievas right now. Smiling from ear to ear. He got the TKO ground and pound. Your girl Shaka Latte and Hannah Ramos put on a battle. Let's take a second and talk about that one. Oh my God, what happened in that ladies' fight? Because that was a 3-round war.
Last time you and I were talking about this, I said, you asked me, what's another good highlight fight to look after? And I was like, you want to look at Chocoromo versus Hannah Ramos, man. And that fight was exactly as advertised. It was very technical, really good exchanges and striking. It really was like hardly any ground. It was just stand up, clean, crisp punches.
3 rounds, ladies going to battle.
It was fun, man, back and forth. I had Hannah Ramos winning that fight at the end of the round, but the judges just gave it to Chocoromo. I thought it was fine. It was really tightly, it was a really tight matchup, a lot tighter than the Garcia Amaya, in my opinion. But man, that was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see both of these girls back in the mix again.
Yeah, neither one took a back seat this one. I mean, obviously, Romo gets elevated a little bit more with the win, but Ramos didn't take a step back. That was arguably the fight of the night. And there's not even a close second. Like, there's a lot of good fights on that card, but that was definitely stole the show. Also in the card, upset if you want, because you were telling me last week, Juan Carlos Hernandez, somebody to look out for. Cabrera knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah, dude, that was
Challenger
sick.
Series. Londono stole the show also. He had a TKO over Gatica. Cortes and Ortiz went to the decision. Cortes got that win. Cienceros got the win via DQ, illegal knee. What happened with that?
Man, so this kid, Efren Tijerina, came out of nowhere. Like, I'm like, who is this kid? Why is he coming? He's 0-1, or I think that's what he was walking in, or 1-0. No, it was 0-1 when he was walking. I was like, oh, okay, it's just we're just starting off this fight. And it was, Efren Tijerina just was fucking fast, man. He was throwing great combinations, very powerful, and just Ceniceros didn't know really what to do, man. He was just kind of like overwhelmed by the power and the aggressiveness of Tijerina. And I think, you see an illegal knee that lands up against K-Shot. I don't know if you watched the fight or watched the film.
Yeah, I saw the knee.
It like the knee was mostly on the thigh. It was like the thigh was the one that really connected. It wasn't like bone on orbit on the eye orbital. Did I say that right?
Yeah, orbital bone, but I don't think it really matters, right? Because the rule is a kick or a knee, and it's part of the leg. So
I agree. Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it looked like, to me, it almost seemed like Ceniceros was just kind of like, yeah, fuck this, man. I'm gonna walk on.
My question is, so it was in the first round, right?
The first round, yep.
My question is, it didn't look super intentional to me. And at that point, so the ref had to declare it intentional, because otherwise that would have been a no contest.
Yeah, that's a good question. Several things were kind of off about that whole situation. Number one, I do believe that it was intentional. I think the kid was being he was so aggressive that, and this kid only had a few fights, or 2 fights.
Yeah, this is his second fight. Yeah.
That was his second fight. So young kid, like, coming up, very aggressive, doesn't really know how to control, and follow the rules on, especially for a ground opponent. I think he has that killer instinct. And he was looking great in the fight. I think it was on purpose. I think until afterwards that he realized, fuck yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing that. Um, so a couple of things. Number one, the referee is supposed to stay on that fighter who got that illegal contact and watch him and communicate with him directly. Now, if you watch the fight, the referee goes up to the wounded opponent, the opponent that got the illegal blow. It turns around, ignores him, and goes to the other opponent and pushes him to the other side and takes him to a neutral corner.
Yeah.
Then comes back, and as he's coming back to deal with the situation of the fighter who's on the ground, goes and has a conversation with the corner, with the opponent's corner about, is he ready to go? Does he want to continue? And then he kind of glances over to the fighter who's wounded and he goes, "Hey, do you want to continue? Do you want to continue?" He's saying yes, and the corner's saying no. And so there's like this hesitance between both the camp and the fighter, but it looks like the ref only is like addressing the camp. It's crazy, man. I was just like, dude, what the hell's going on here?
It also appeared they didn't give them like they didn't take the time. They didn't take the allotted 5 minutes or any of that stuff. It was just straight up, do you want to or not? And it's like, I'm gonna give you a minute to recover. Let me go talk to the other guy what he did wrong, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And they didn't do any of that. We've talked before about some of the I don't want to call it necessarily amateur of nature of some of the refs in Mexico. They don't have quite the experience. There's not a Mark Smith or a Mark Goddard or Jason Herzog. It's like these people who are also kind of learning their craft the same way the fighters are. In coming up as well. They might have, reffed a bunch of Mexican fights, but not necessarily like the top tier fights. So they're subject to make mistakes too.
Sure. Well, like any ref.
But yeah, but I mean, who knows? That might be the first time that ref's ever been in that position of an illegal shot.
Yeah,
you read it in a book. This is what I'm supposed to do. Oh wait, here it's actually happening. Let me get them apart. So I'm sure there's a million things going through his mind on that level. Right. So it's an unfortunate situation, but I do agree that Cienceros didn't want to continue. Even if he might have said the words, he definitely took the way out. Who knows? I guess we'll see what happens with both going on from there. The last fight of the night I didn't talk about. Hernandez got the TKO, ground and pound over Eric Gaitan. So overall, pretty fun card. I think I already know it's probably the Chocolate fight, but what was the fight of the night for you that really stole the show for you?
Yeah, the girls stole the show this time around, man. That was the most exciting fight, most competitive fight. It brought a lot. I think it brought the best out of both the girls in this fight. I think Hannah Ramos and Chocoromo just put on a great performance. And Chocoromo's 35 years old, man. Like, what an inspiration, man. She's just starting her career in MMA. She's 35 years old, and she's hanging in there with like a 22-year-old, man. It's like, holy, man. Like, that is so difficult to do. I don't think people really understand the just how hard that really is, to get out there and have that kind of mental aspect to be able to show up and perform as well as she did and freaking put a performance of the night.
2 in a row. Because even though it was a split decision, same thing in that Baltazar fight on LUX 21, that was a hell of a fight. She's stuck in a really bad position right now because the champ, Orozco, has already beat her twice. Yeah. Once a long time ago and once more recently in LUX Fight League 9. She did lose 3 fights before that, before her last 2 wins, including one, by the way, to Yasmin Howdigi. By the way, congratulations to her making her UFC debut this weekend and what was another fantastic fight. Oh, my God. Yeah. Those 2 women, oh, my God. But my girl Yasmin, she got the win. Yasmin Jitsu, she got her win. But yeah, I think Chocoromo, she's in a tough position. Like, I don't know who to fight next. They're gonna have to bring somebody in from somewhere else, I guess, to have another exciting fight, unless they run the Hannah Ramos fight back. Because Hannah Ramos is kind of in a situation where she was up and coming. Yeah, 3-1. Now she's 3-2. What does she do next? She's obviously an exciting fighter. You can't give her a title shot after she just lost. Like,
yeah, she's really good, man. I mean, in my eyes, I feel like she won the fight, man. So I think Hannah Ramos is somebody that they need to keep keep pushing forward, man, and keep giving her opportunities to fight on the cage. Yeah, at 115 pounds, not a lot of 115ers around, but definitely a pioneer in the sport for Latin America and for those people there. And where's she from? From Monterrey or something?
Chocolate?
Yeah, no. Hannah Ramos.
Oh, Ramos is from. I know she's Mexican. It just says Mexico. You might have
Mexico?
more insight on it. It just says Mexico. It doesn't say exactly where. I'd have to do a deep dive to find that one out.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to see where they're going to go with that. There's a lot of question marks after this. Normally, after a fight card, we have some answers, right? I think we have more question marks than anything after this fight card.
I agree, man.
And then even more so going into the fight card on September 2nd, I believe, LUX Fight League 26, with Mendoza and Fito Rubio getting kind of another chance to kind of hang around the top of the card. He just lost to Beltran, so it's going to be interesting to see how all of that works out very soon. Very soon. But that is LUX Fight League 25. Like I said, we're moving on to LUX Fight League 26 on the 2nd. We'll talk about that more as the weeks go on. Next couple weeks, we'll probably do some fighter profiles and stuff that we love doing. But yeah, and then also real quick before we get out of here today, do want to let you all know tomorrow night, Alex already kind of talked about it. Tomorrow night, Bam Bam Valenzuela on Dana White's Contender Series. That kid is no joke. He's a future star, and he's going to probably get a contract and be gone, because I'd be shocked if he doesn't go in there and just knock somebody out.
He's going to stomp on somebody, man. Do you know who he's fighting?
I did until like 2 seconds ago, and now I don't know where the damn thing went.
Damn it. All right. Well, on another note, too, I'd like to give a shout out for El Niño Azteca Rodriguez. He also was a shining star of the fight card. So big shout out to him. Congratulations for beating Navarro. He got that guillotine choke, but he's a kid that's coming up, man. And he's just on fire, man. So keep an eye on him. 125 pounds, still very young. A lot of growing to do, but has a lot of potential.
And also, every link I click for this damn thing, nothing comes up.
You just got to go to your history. Go to history. Boom.
Yeah.
Close tab,
they say Claudio Ribeiro. Valenzuela and Claudio Ribeiro.
Okay.
I feel like that was the original fight. I feel like I've seen something different recently.
Huh. Well, it doesn't matter. It's gonna get stomped. I'm just. I'm not staying humble here, but I'm just saying, dude. That kid's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, it's Claudio Ribeiro. That's going to be his opponent at middleweight for the Dana White Contender Series. The headline fight is Paul versus Ribovics tonight, so that will be interesting. As far as anybody wants to know, Claudio's 9-2 out of Brazil.
Okay.
And on a 5-fight win streak, and knocked out everybody he fights too. So there you go. But nothing. Both of them are coming up to the big time, so to speak, because Ribeiro's fought all his fights in Brazil. Obviously, Valenzuela all his fights in Mexico. So It's going to be a fun fight. It's a win for Latin America, right?
Yeah.
Before we get out, check out the new shirt. Like I said, below, link in description. Trying to come up with something new and clean. It's 2022. Let's keep on evolving. And Crossing Borders keeps on evolving, keeps on getting better. Always leave a comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Give Alex a little bit more reinforcement. But also, if you do watch the fight cards on LUX Fight League, UFC Fight Pass, ESPN Deportes, whatever, jump in the conversation. Absolutely jump in the conversation here. Social media, Fighters First. All those links are in the description. Alex, any final words this week?
Nothing, man. Just tune for second. That's gonna be a great fight, man. David Mendoza versus Fito Rubio is gonna be fire, man. I think this is the one where David Mendoza is gonna get tested, and he's gonna perform very well. I think I got David Mendoza, but we'll talk about that on the next show.
Yep, we will talk about that soon. Maybe that'll be the fighters that we take a look at. I mean, we've looked at Mendoza before. Maybe we'll take a look at Rubio a little more in depth since we didn't talk about him as much when he was fighting Marcos. So that's something new. Like I said, you guys want, that's a good thing. Thank you for mentioning that. You guys want a fighter for us to profile? With Luke's Fight League, Combate, whatever, a Mexican or Latin American fighter you want us to talk about? Leave a comment.
Let's do it.
Let us know. We love, like, this is what this show is about. It's like giving you something you don't see on, especially when it comes to American MMA. We talk about what we see. Dana White's Contender Series, PFL, Bellator. That's it. UFC. We're giving you Luke's Fight League. Tell me another show that talks about Luke's Fight League like we do. None. We talk about Combate when there's something big coming up. Obviously, we do favor Luke's more because Alex works for him. Like, he has more inside knowledge. But we do talk about all Mexican MMA. So leave a comment. Tell us what you want to see, and we'll keep on bringing it to you. For Extremo Alex Soto, I'm Mike Ginn. Check out FightersFirst.shop. Get that new shirt while it's hot. This is Crossing Borders. We'll see you next week. We're out.